What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Stars Insiders podcast. And after being absent for a good little while, I'm back, people. And for today's episode, I will bring you guys some mock drafts. Well, two mock drafts, going over two different scenarios that I think are very possible for the Dallas Cowboys. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into it, man. All right, people. After being absent for a good little while, I'm back. It was a mix of the Cowboys being not good at football and work that kind of messed up my whole thing I had going with YouTube, but I'm back, people. So without all of that being said, let's get straight into it, man. Let's go into our first scenario. I think there's three different scenarios that have been thrown around this off season. The Cowboys trading up to one of these top 5 picks, or the Cowboys trading up to 9, 8, 7, 6. Those are things that are being talked about for the Dallas Cowboys in the 2026 NFL draft. And I'm not a big fan of trading up to 3 or 4 because I think you'd be giving up way too much. You wouldn't be drafting a player that you are fully confident in. Because everybody in this draft has something. There's something you hit people with pretty much in the entire first round. This is a very weird draft, but it makes it that much more fun. So I will not be going up to a top 5 pick because, again, I think you'd be giving away too much. But I will be talking about possibly trading up to pick maybe 9 through 6. I think that is very interesting, and I'm not sure if it's realistic. I'm not sure if I'm confident that the Cowboys would trade up in these scenarios. Just because the history, man. The Cowboys haven't traded up since in the first round since what I think I don't know. I think it was like early 2000s. They went up for that one corner. But the Cowboys are not a team that trades up or even trades very often in the draft. But I would very much entertain trading up to pick 9 through 6 because I think you'd be getting a very good and quality player, and you wouldn't be giving up too much. I think let's try this one scenario that has been thrown around a whole lot. Cowboys trading up to pick 6 with the Cleveland Browns. You're getting back pick 39, I think, and then you're giving up 12 and 20. I'd be happy with this because I like a whole bunch of guys in that 39 spot. I think 20 is a little wonky, and I'm more leaning towards trading out of 20 into maybe the second round or just later in the first round. But I'm a big fan of that 39 spot. So let me see if I can go ahead and offer this trade, see if it goes through. And it did go through. So let's go ahead and start the draft and see who makes it to pick number 6. And this is just a really good scenario, and I think it's a pretty realistic scenario, except for maybe David Bailey, because I think David Bailey is gonna go in the top 4 picks. Same with Jeremiah Love. I think Caleb Downs, Styles, and Bain are the most realistic guys to be here at pick 6, and the guys that I'd be the most excited taking here at pick 6. But in this scenario, you have Caleb Downs, in my opinion, the best player in the draft, period, number 1. Then you'd have David Bailey, which I'm not a huge fan of. I like the player, but I don't know, man. I have this feeling, and I just don't have a good feeling about David Bailey. I feel like out of these guys, out of Bain, Styles, and Downs, I think David Bailey has the most bust potential. If you scout by the helmet, these edge rushers for Texas Tech have not gone to have great careers. For example, like Tyree Wilson, and David Bailey, I mean, he hasn't played the highest of competition. I feel like when you see him go crazy and do a whole bunch of stuff is when he played lower competition, and then when you see him play like like Max Ihanachor from Arizona State, or the people or the guys in Utah. I don't think he played very well, and that kind of scares me. So in this scenario, I would be personally taking Caleb Downs with all the confidence in the world. I love Caleb Downs. I think he's the best player in the draft. I think he'll make an impact. I think he can play anywhere on the field. I think he can play the deep zones. I think he can play outside corner sometimes if you want to as well. And the most important thing is I think that he could very much play that nickel safety, nickel corner, slot corner for you. So I will be going with Mr. Caleb Downs here at pick 6 on this trade up scenario. Now, trading down from pick 20 to 39, there's going to be players here. The guys that I'm the biggest fan of and the guys that I really want at this position would probably be like a Stooks, like a Pons, D'Angelo Pons, Stooks from Arizona, Pons from Indiana. I love Jacob Rodriguez here as well. I think that's a really good spot for him. Another guy that I'm pretty high on that I really do like a lot is Keontae Scott out of Miami. And if you want to go edge rusher, I think this is the range that I'd be the most comfortable taking, like Cassius Howell. I'm a pretty big fan of Gabe Jacas as well. Maybe like a R. Mason Thomas or like a Brandon Cisse or one of these linebackers. And since you did go and fill your safety and corner spot pretty much, I think you'd be looking at either an edge rusher or a linebacker here at pick 39. So let's see who is available in this mock. You have Rodriguez, you have Mason Thomas, you have Gabe Jacas. You have Anthony Hill Jr. as well, which I'm not super high on. You could also maybe lock up your secondary and take like a Keontae Scott. I think Keontae Scott wouldn't be in play here if you do take Caleb Downs, just because Keontae Scott is more of that like nickel safety corner type of vibe. I'm a pretty big fan of him. But if you do take Caleb Downs, I don't think I'd be leaning too much towards Scott. Just because he is more of just like that. I personally put him just there only at the slot. I don't think I'd have him really play on the outside or anything. But trading Stooks at 39 would be sick. I think that would be a really cool pair of rookies, is trading Stooks and Caleb Downs. You have guys that can play everywhere on the field with no problem at all. I'm a pretty big fan of Stooks. I watched him just a couple of days ago. Him and Genesis Smith. In my notes, it's just, I think the biggest thing about him is versatility. I think he can play anywhere. Like I said, deep zones, outside corner, and even the slot. I think he is aggressive enough and good enough to play in the slot if you really want to. High IQ. He's a great route identifier. He is also like a very rangy type of corner, type of safety type vibe. Always looking to get his hands on the football, and I do have an early second round grade on him. If it isn't Stooks here, I think I'm probably the biggest fan like at this position. If you want to go secondary again, I'd either be looking at Stooks or AJ Halsey. I know you did just take a safety, but AJ Halsey is so good, man. AJ Halsey is an absolute monster. And that thinking about that secondary, man, that would be super nice. If you have Halsey and then you have Jalen Thompson playing deep, and then you have Ravel, you have Bland, you have Caleb Downs. Oh boy. That would be that is nasty. That is disgusting. I love that so much. I'm taking AJ Halsey. Oh my god. I might have. Never mind. I was gonna say something very inappropriate. Okay. So now at 92, You have not taken anything in the front seven. You still have Shamar James as your starting linebacker. That is a problem, but I think it's a problem that can be fixed. I think that is a problem that can be fixed either with a draft pick or trading for a guy, maybe like a Jordan Brooks, or even signing Bobby Wagner. I know he's old and slow and not very good at football anymore, but I think he'd be a cool presence. I think he's a cool, just a downhill Mike linebacker. I don't think you want him playing any sort of coverage anymore, but I think he would be cool. I think Bobby Wagner would be solid there, especially if you pair him up with a young linebacker you draft and with Overshown and with Shamar James. I think it wouldn't be too bad, but there is a glaring hole, and linebacker at 92 almost feels mandatory unless you go ahead and take an edge rusher here maybe, but I'm not a big fan of any of these guys here. Let's see linebackers though. I'd be a pretty big fan of Torian York here at 92. I think that's a solid pick, and I think that's probably the pick that I'll make. I have not watched Bryce Betcher. I know Deontay Lawson blows. Just from the stuff I hear, he isn't a very good football player. So there's literally no point in watching him. But I will watch some more Bryce Betcher. But I do know a good bit about Torian York. Some say he is the best, or he was the best coverage linebacker in college football this past season, and I'll take it, man. That is exactly what we need. A leader, a pass coverage guy, and this is a nasty draft. This is really good. The PFF grades suck balls, and don't mean anything to me. 6 for downs is amazing. I think you could possibly get him at like 8 to 9, maybe, if you're lucky enough. And if people suck at drafting, you could wait and just get Caleb Downs like at 8 or 9, maybe. But I'd rather not wait too much, because if not, he'll just go. And again, AJ Halsey is amazing. Also, his tape is just disgusting. I loved watching AJ Halsey. My big thing for him was ball hawk. He is all over the place. Every interception, every pass breakup was earned. Just a see ball, get ball, safety free, like a true free safety. He's amazing, and I would love AJ Halsey. And I think 39 is really good value for him, because I think he could possibly sneak into the first round. But yeah, I love AJ Halsey at 39. So with all that being said, this is the first scenario, and I think it's realistic. I think the trade is realistic for both teams. But are the Cowboys really going to trade up? Who knows? I don't know. I just don't know if the Cowboys are going to trade up. I know there's been a whole lot of talk and people saying that the Cowboys are the most likely team to trade up in the NFL draft, but I'm not sure. I just don't know. I don't know. I would love it, especially if you get like a Caleb Downs or like a Sony Styles or a Ruben Bain type of a player at either of those 6 through 9 positions. I'd be very, very happy, very excited if you didn't wait and just went and got your guy. Alrighty, now with scenario number 2, which would be, I think, the most realistic for this Cowboys front office, and the most conflicting in a way. Because staying at 12 is just, you're just hoping and praying for someone to fall. We're just in a really, really, really weird position here at 12. Because I mean, of course, you got your top 6 defenders that will probably go within that 10 range, maybe. But if someone overdrafts a tackle or a receiver or something, there's a chance of someone dropping to 12. And we'll see in this scenario, see who possibly drops here. But like if you're just gonna sit at 12, you're hoping Caleb Downs falls because of positional value. You're hoping Urban Bain drops because of his short arms. You're hoping maybe Mansour Lane drops because McCoy ran good, or people are higher on McCoy. It's just a whole lot of hope, and that's one of the reasons why I just do not like really sitting and just waiting at pick 12. I think you have to go up. I think you have to go up and get a guy. I don't think you can just wait and see who drops, because there's a chance that the best player on your board is Jermod McCoy or an offensive player. Jermod McCoy, I'm saying because he has a knee injury, and then you have an offensive player, which I will talk about. If someone drops here at 12, if one of these receivers drops here at 12, I am more than prepared to take them. Just going BPA and drafting like a Jordan Tyson or like a Cardinal Tate at 12. If they drop, I'd be a huge fan of. Maybe even if like a Malagoa drops, I'd be cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Replace Terrence Steele, get yourself a really good right tackle for the future. I'd be okay with it. I know a lot of people are not okay with it and prefer to reach and take players that shouldn't be taken at the 12th spot. But let's see. Let's get into it, and let's see who ends up dropping here to 12. And like, this is like worst case scenario if you're like an all defense guy, and this is best case scenario for me, who doesn't care about defense and just wants to score 70 points a game. Jeremiah Love. If Jeremiah Love gets there to you at 12, I think you gotta put the pick in immediately. But you also have Jordan Tyson, a guy that I really like, and the guy that I feel like should be talked about more, because we have no idea what is going to happen with George Pickens. I really don't know what's going to happen. I think what I've seen and what I feel like is going to be the most realistic thing is going to be he's probably going to play on the tag this year, and he's going to get tagged again next year, and then probably getting traded next offseason. So you got to have a plan in place for Pickens possibly not being on the team next season. Not this next season, but the season after. I think you have to have a plan in place, and I think Jordan Tyson is the perfect plan you can put in place. If Jeremiah Love wasn't here, I'd be jumping up and down and screaming to take Jordan Tyson. I know people have been talking a lot about the Cowboys being higher on some other guys than us, like Keldrick Falk. I'm a fan of Keldrick Falk. I really don't understand some of the hate that Keldrick Falk gets. I'm not a fan of him at 12. I'm a pretty big fan of him at 20 though. It's just a thing that I've been saying. It's just the value of some of these players. It's just really weird in this draft. I mean, I'd be cool with Falk at 20. I think he's a good player. He's young. He's still developing. I know you want guys that can play right now, but I think he can play now. I know he's probably not a good edge rusher, a good pass rusher right now, but I think he can very much develop to be so. A big dude. Let me see. Let me look at my notes on Keldrick Falk. I'm not taking him here at 12, but I just want to talk about him here a little bit. I mean, big frame. He is 6'6", 288 pounds. He's very strong, and he's great as a run defender. He sheds blocks with ease. I think he has great vision when playing the run. And of course, his biggest knock, he is slow as all can be. Coming off the line of scrimmage. And just not a whole lot of bend off the edge. And I think that is stuff that can be developed. And I think that's one of the reasons why you brought in BT Jordan. He can help you develop these players. That's why I wouldn't hate the idea of taking Keldrick Falk at 20, but we'll see at 20. I think right now, complete wipeout scenario, complete wipeout scenario. You have Jeremiah Love sitting there at pick 12. I think it's kind of unrealistic. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Jeremiah Love goes within the top 7 picks of the NFL draft. So for that reason, I will not be taking Jeremiah Love, because I think that is extremely not extremely, but I think it's pretty unrealistic that Jeremiah Love ends up dropping here at pick 12. So the next best options in my opinion is probably Thieneman or Jordan Tyson or Keldrick Falk. Yeah, that's your. I'm sorry, y'all. People are gonna hate me. They're gonna hate me. But I'm taking Jordan Tyson at pick 12. I think that's good value. I think that's around where he should be taken. And he's just an amazing player. He is George Pickens 2.0. I think he's gonna be a really good football player for a very long time if he stays healthy. If he continues to stay healthy, I think Jordan Tyson is gonna be one of the better football players, one of the better receivers, or possibly the best receiver to come out of this draft. So I will be going with Arizona State wide receiver Jordan Tyson at pick 12. Let's do it, Jordan Tyson. Okay, like come on. Like really? Nothing fucking changed at this board. Spencer Fano, Jeremiah Love, Kenyon Sadiq. Do we want to double up on offense? Score 80 a game. Jordan Tyson, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Kenyon Sadiq. Holy shit, that'd be disgusting. But I think you got to take defense here. If you go with Jordan Tyson here, you got to take a good, solid football player. I just don't know where you would go here, especially with who's available and who's on the board. I think you got to go interior. I mean, you cannot go wrong with anybody, honestly. CJ Allen is cool. I think 20 is a bit rich for CJ Allen. I'm a fan of CJ Allen, but just I think 20 is just a bit too much for me. I think that's with all the linebackers. There's questions. I think the guys that I have that I'm least worried about is probably like a Rodriguez or Sonny Styles, but CJ Allen, Anthony Hill Jr. I'm not the biggest fan of. I mean, McNeil Warren is here. Avion Terrell is here. I think he's a good corner. My cornerback 3 is still on the board, which would be Colton Hood. I think he's really good. I think Colton Hood is really good. He has not been talked about really at all. Getting overshadowed by the other guys like Terrell and Mansour and McCoy. But I think I think Colton Hood is a really good football player. And a guy I would for sure consider here at 12. But would I go corner? Or would I go... See, this is what I hate. I think you gotta try to trade out of this. Who's on the board? Let me cook up a trade and I'll cut to the next part. All right, I did something. I did have to give up a 5th and a 6th, I think it is. But I think I got back exactly what I wanted. I don't think I did. I got back exactly what I wanted here. So we ended up trading pick 20, pick 152, and 177 for pick 24 and pick 70. So you trade back a couple spots. I don't think you're missing out on a whole lot, and you're getting back some more draft capital. So let's get to pick 24 here. Sadiq is on the board. I'm not going another offensive player. Avion Terrell is still on the board. Colton Hood is still on the board. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Colton Hood here. Yeah, he's my cornerback 3 in this class, and I am a pretty big fan of him. So let's go ahead and go here. We're at pick 70. I think you're still in a pretty big need of a linebacker, a safety, and an edge. I already see someone I like a lot. Anthony Hill Jr. I think this isn't crazy for him to drop to 70. I'm still not a big fan of Anthony Hill Jr. People call him a freak athlete, and I just don't see it. I really do not like Anthony Hill Jr. here. We have Malachi Lawrence dropping to pick 70. Let me look at Malachi Lawrence. Malachi Lawrence is a really good athlete. He is 6'4". Let me see. He is 6'4", 250 pounds. Big guy. More of a developmental type of edge rusher. So, I mean, if I can get Malachi Lawrence and like a Genesis Smith, that would be pretty cool. Zakee Whitley would be cool too. Maybe Bud Clark at 92, maybe. You also have no linebacker. I mean, Kyle Lewis is here too. I haven't watched Kyle Lewis, but I hear very good things about Kyle Lewis. So I just don't want to take a player that I don't really know too much about. I would take Kyle Lewis here, but I just don't know enough about the player to just take him here. Fuck it. Malachi Lawrence at 70, and I'm praying to Jesus that Genesis Smith drops to me. I think he did. He did drop to me. Okay, this is perfect. This is really good. All right, I love it. You also have Malik Muhammad here. He's cool too. I'm a pretty big fan of Genesis Smith as well. I think I had really good fun. I had a really good time watching Genesis Smith and Trayton Stukes. He's like a really cool, really weird type of player. He is decently tall. He is 6'2". He is 204. He's really skinny though. He has a really skinny, like a tall frame to him. He has good speed. He plays like a cornerback almost. That's what I kind of put on my notes. He kind of plays like a cornerback. He plays really fluid, really loose. He is solid at playing in deep zones. He knows what's going on around him. I think he's pretty good. I think he's a really good football player. I think he can be a day one starter for you. And I think I will be taking safety Genesis Smith here. I think Genesis Smith is a cool pick here and a pick that I enjoy. And at pick 112, we have Malik Muhammad. I think that's an immediate pick. So I think a solid draft. You have more development type of players than true starters in this scenario. I mean, that's because, I mean, it's just, this is the reason why I do not want to stay at 12. You're kind of just hoping and praying someone drops, and if someone doesn't drop, you're gonna have to go with someone that you're not very comfortable in taking, or you're gonna have to take an opposite player. And I do kind of think you're not really in a position to be taking someone like Jordan Tyson. I love Jordan Tyson, but I think your defense is so bad that taking him would be a little dumb, but I would love it. I would love Jordan Tyson on this football team for a year, having CD, Pickens, and Jordan Tyson, and then eventually probably Pickens will leave, and then Jordan Tyson will become wide receiver 2, and I think that would be really nice. Colton Hood at 24, I love it. I think that's really good value, and I think that's around where he should go. Malachi Lawrence at 70, I think is cool. I think he's a decent player, a good enough player to go there. Genesis Smith, I'm a pretty big fan of. Not a guy that can do it all like his running mate, Trayton Stukes, but a really good safety, I feel like. Malik Muhammad, someone I have not watched too much of, but I hear very good things about him, and I hear that the Cowboys are pretty high on him. So I think at 112, I think he is a really good and quality pick. This is not a great draft, if I'm being completely honest, but I mean, that's just what's gonna happen if you're not being aggressive and you're hoping, and then the guy that you want at 12 doesn't drop to you. In my opinion, and to kind of end it here, trade up, go and get yourself a good quality starter, but don't give up too much. Don't Don't go into the top 5 and give up 12, 20 and only get back 6 and like a 4th or something stupid. I think the trade from pick 12 to 6, I think, is probably my favorite, because I think you'll have your choice of the 3 guys that I like the most, which would be Ruben Bain. I think Sonny Styles will be there, and Caleb Downs, I think, will be there at pick number 6. So go up, man. Just go up. Don't give up too much, and draft yourself a really good quality football player. Because I think we're in huge need of an actual good difference maker on defense. So with all that being said, man, I really do thank you guys for watching. I really hope, if you stayed till the end, thank you. I love you. I hope this was entertaining. I hope I was a bit better spoken than my last couple of episodes. I think I've done a whole lot of research and watched a good amount of players. I'm still a little behind on watching players, is because of work. I just don't have a whole lot of time, and I really get home. I get back home from work in the gym at like 10 in the morning. I don't have a whole lot of time to do much of anything, so I'm kind of just working pretty late nights trying to get these players watched and the video recorded and then the video edited and then the video uploaded. So it's a good amount of work. So that's why I really do appreciate y'all if y'all did stay until the end of the video. And if you stayed until the end of the video, drop in the comments who's your favorite prospect and what scenario are you the biggest fan of. I like to see what you guys think. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I love you guys. God bless each and every single one of you beautiful souls. And I'll be back. I think I'll try to drop one more episode before the draft. And I'm thinking of possibly, maybe, probably not, I'm not sure, maybe going live at least during the first round of this year's draft. So stay tuned. It might happen. Probably won't happen, but I'll for sure try to get out one more video, one more mock, possibly before Thursday of next week. So once again, thank you guys. Love you guys. And I'll see y'all boys later, man. Peace.